that we have available in this community.
So first I wanted to introduce our resident council who is here today. And I thank you all for getting out the community, passing out flyers, knocking on doors, inviting your neighbors and other residents to come out to the meeting. Thank you all so much just for the service and everything you all. To stand up if you want to say anything and introduce council members.
And thank y'all for having us. First of all, we appreciate y'all sharing with us. This is my vice president, Mr. Linda. This is my treasurer, Pandora Moore. My secretary's not here, she got a private engagement. And this is our chaplain, Ms. Son Young. And I'm Rita, I'm the president. The fussy one, that's me. And y'all gonna give my time out. In the days to come, because I can't get my people to come, but by the time I get through fussing them, they're gonna be some people coming. I don't mind hollering and screaming. We got a lot of stuff coming up, so while it's coming up, I'm gonna be talking to the parents. I'm doing some stuff for the children for Halloween, so during that time, I'm gonna try to talk to their mamas and see if I get them to do some stuff. I got some stuff we're gonna do for them for Christmas, for the kids to do for their parents. So we're gonna try to get that going. And we're just trying to work with them and see if we can get them.
Awesome. And I want to say this, I want to connect with you all.
Okay.
Y'all probably familiar with the Lincoln Village Ministries team.
I have heard of them.
You know, they've been waiting for us to get our resident council up. And so now that we have our resident council in place, I think we want to sit down with them and see what they can do to assist you and some of the efforts that you and your team are having.
Take all the help I can get.
And as soon as I can hear back from them, we'll set that meeting up.
Okay, that
All
was good. Thank you so much.
Ms. Rita and her team have been really good. Anything I ask for, she never tells me no. Not yet. Passing out flyers and everything. So, really good. Thank you so much. And at the end, you got gift cards.
I do. I have gift cards at the end of it. We're going to skip out. Not much you. I was too busy. So people will appreciate it coming out.
Thank you. So some of the other programs that we have in resident services is designed to help families be able to meet their goals and move to the next level and just find the resources and services they need for their family in order to be self-sufficient. So at our building, we're over at the Seminole Service Center, which is at 212 Seminole Drive over in Butler Terrace. If you all remember where Butler Terrace community is, right there with the Butler Terrace office and Johnson Tower. And so some of the different programs we have programs for each and every member of your family, from babies to elderly. And so we have our youth and family program, and Mr. Frederick Whitlow is at the front.
I saw you all over saw you over pulling out.
Oh, yeah. So he's our youth and family coordinator. So any programs that you need for your grandchildren, your children, your neighbors, if you want to refer them, Mr. Whitlow would be that person. So the things like piano lessons, string instruments, basketball, athletic things. Mr. Whitlow can also do that and get you connected to those different programs that we work with. Some of those programs are Boys and Girls Club,
Scholarship.
different scholarships. So we have a scholarship that's coming up for high school seniors. And we also have one in January for adults.
18 and up.
18 and up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he, of course, is in charge of that and knows all that information. So if you have any children that live in public housing, like I said, neighbors or grandchildren, then of course we see with all of that. We also have Mr. Quentin Young, who is here, right there, and gave you all the raffle tickets. He is our homeownership coordinator. He's our newest member to resident services. I think somebody asked him earlier, who are you? You did. So, he looks like he's 12. He might look young, but he has a lot of knowledge. So he can definitely help you with any financial goals that you may have, or ownership is one of your dreams. He can help you be able to move towards and accomplish that. So he has referral forms here. So if you have any questions on finances or homeownership, definitely get with him. And that's for public housing or Section 8. If you know anybody in the community that just needs some direction on where to go, and then if it's Mr. Quentin Young, okay? Also, we do have a family self-sufficiency program. Many of you have heard of that. It's a program, a 5-year-long program that helps your families meet your goals. So we don't have any coordinators here right now. Deanna Bowden is the supervisor. Kimberly Byrne is one of the FSS coordinators. Okay, so we have information on the table for that program as well. Lindsay Pollard is not here. She's our workforce development coordinator. So she has information on just different job skills and anything has to do with employment. If you need employment, you know someone that needs employment, have to find a job, or wants to maybe some volunteer information. I know that sounds bad. Let me hurry. I don't know if we want to leave right now.
Yeah, don't hurry.
Don't hurry. So Ms. Lindsay Pollard, so these are all the programs in resident service. So we have something for each and every member of your family. If it's something that I didn't mention and you need, contact us because we can probably find those resources and services for you. Okay? And a resident council is wonderful. If you haven't been to a resident council meeting in a long time, please come out to the resident council meetings. I know they put out flyers and things on when those meetings are. The time today may vary, but I am the resident council liaison, so we're trying to get more residents involved just to hear those concerns and suggestions that you all may have about keeping the community safe and improving. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good job, Trish. Appreciate it. I also want to introduce my executive assistant. If you want to get some information, she's training me on how to make sure you get the information from her and get her phone numbers and email address. And we have Ms. Tara Pope as well. She's the superintendent of public housing. Up front, I didn't do this yesterday, but we have our IT specialists here with us. Mr. Neil Andrew, he makes sure that all of our technology needs are taken care of, and he's been recording a lot of our sessions. And then the person who brought the rain, our deputy executive director. It wasn't raining until she came in here. And Mr. Kisa is new. Maybe how long now?
October, the next week on the 26th will be 90 days.
So I'm gonna let her say a few words, and I'm gonna make sure not to put her on the spot like I did yesterday, but I'm gonna give her the floor.
So it's so nice to meet you all. Again, I'm the newest person at Housing Authority, but it has been such a true blessing to be at the Housing Authority. The more I start to come to these town hall meetings, meet you all, I see how important it is for us to make sure that you guys are taken care of. I love these settings where we can do the one-on-one, we can talk to you all, get your ideas primarily, and some of your concerns. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I look forward to doing these as alternates.
Thank you. So I kind of reference our new department. This department will actually launch the beginning of November. It's called the Office of Resident Affairs. It's going to be a place, it's going to be a platform where residents can call in if you have concerns, questions, you want to just provide feedback, and you really want to make sure that, you might not feel comfortable talking to anybody. You can call this office, let your concern be known, and we will return your call within 48 hours. And we're going to make sure that we investigate the situation, we get the people who are responsible for the concern on the call, and we're just trying to be more transparent and make sure that information is shared in a quicker response time than maybe it's been responded to in the past. And not to say that it hasn't been, but I want to make sure that we get the information back to you all in a Go ahead, Sandra. We just want to make sure that we get the information to you all so that you will have a way to share information. Some of these town halls, we've had residents who are concerned about their neighbors having people who are not on the lease staying with them, who may be causing problems. Well, this is a platform where you'll be able to notify us, give us that information, and we can investigate without you having to pick up the phone or go to the office and call anybody. This will be a way. We'll have an email address, we'll have a phone number, and we're thinking about a QR code that you'll be able to just kind of flash, and it'll take you directly to that platform. And so these are ways you'll be able to make sure that your voice is being heard. And we don't want it to be one of those platforms where it's all about complaining, though. You might have some suggestions that you would like for us to consider, and we'll be able to do those. So make sure you look out for that Office of Resident Affairs. Get with Kim to, once we unroll that, she'll have the information. We'll make sure all the property managers have that information. So again, one of the reasons we're doing town hall meetings, one, for us to be able to get out in the community. COVID hit us bad in 2020. Right when I took over as the executive director, we shortly went into COVID. And so I haven't had the opportunity to get out in the community and meet residents. That's something that I wanted to do and I love doing. But because we had all these protocols in place, I wasn't able to do that like I wanted to. So I feel like, you know, before it gets cold again, we wanted to do these town halls to let you know that you all, we're thinking about you, we're concerned about your well-being. We want to make sure that we do all we can as an agency to make sure that we are addressing some of the needs. Now, I know that the Housing Authority isn't perfect, but I know that we have good people who work with us, who want to make sure that we do right by our residents. I also want to make sure that you all are aware of the resources that are in your community. One of the primary goals that we have is we want to make sure that each community have resources that they can walk to. And I know Lincoln right now is a challenge because there's no real meeting space. We don't have a place. That's why we're meeting here at the Boys and Girls Club. And even this, I mean, you think about a rainy day could be a challenge for people to walk to. So we're going to have to look at creative ways on what we can do to have a space where residents can go and get the information. Now, if we're limited to that information, we'll utilize resident services. They have transportation to get you back and forth to different communities because we have Drake, Calhoun, they want to work with us. They're providing adult ed opportunities. Every community that we're in, we want it to be a community of promise. We want our kids to feel like they have the potential to do whatever they want to do. If we have residents who want to go back to school, we want to bring that opportunity to the residents. We have family self-sufficiency programs, home ownership programs. Just because you're here now doesn't mean that this is where you have to stay. If you want to do whatever, we want to make sure that we provide that platform. Our number one goal in our strategic plan is to help residents become self-sufficient. And we're going to do all that we can to do that. The second one is to link you all with social service partners. And I think they go hand in hand. If we can do everything that we can to get you all the information, then I think what will happen is that you all will be able to go to that next level and you will be able to achieve some of the goals that you would like to achieve as you move up and throughout the system, okay? I want to make sure that when we leave here today, if we get an opportunity to see a Boys and Girls Club staff, just thank them for allowing us to have this space today. I know this is a busy time for every Boys and Girls Club, but I also wanted to make sure that I do a plug for the Boys and Girls Club. If you have children and they don't go to the Boys and Girls Club out here, you need to sign them up. This is one of the safe havens in the community. This is a place where a kid can go, get help with homework, have some recreation, and just be a kid for a few hours a day. You know, we talk about opportunities. Well, this is a place and a space that is safe for your children to go. My goal, working with resident services, is to see all of our kids graduate high school. One of the things that I really understand about graduation, if our kids graduate, they're less likely to get involved in the system. 80% of kids who drop out of school end up in the system, 80%. So we got to make sure at a minimum, they're graduating from high school. And the more we can educate them and provide places like this, the better opportunity they're going to have to be successful down the road. All right. So at this point, what I'd like to do is just turn the floor over to you all, see what kind of questions you all might have, any concerns that you all might have. And I know we have our friends here who just joined us from upper education, and they're gonna, be here to answer any questions on the partnership between Drake and Calhoun and the services that they can provide as well. So any questions or any feedback, right now is the opportunity to ask those questions.
I do, like you're talking about this, the Office of Resident Affairs 2.B, that you can call as complaints and stuff. We're supposed to go to our property manager when we have complaints. So at what point would it not be?
When you don't feel safe enough to do that, and you feel like you don't want to share information with her, that might be something that we have residents who feel like our property managers sometimes retaliate for whatever reason. And I know Kim doesn't do that, but do you, Kim? But sometimes we have, and you made a very valid point, because I shared that with our staff. I said, we just want to have we want to make sure we have the platform just in case. Most of the time, situations can be handled with the property manager. But if you feel like, okay, I need to go to another source, then this is what this platform is going to be used for.
Because I've had other people complain that they couldn't get anything done years ago. They couldn't get anything done in the office, so they could call the main office.
Years ago.
And the main office always send them back to our resident manager. It's like, but they weren't getting anywhere with that resident manager, and they were trying to go a little bit further, and they were getting stymied every time.
So this is why we're putting this in place, not to throw any shade at Kim, but we want to make sure that your voice is being heard. Because what happens 90% of the time, if you're not satisfied with information that you receive, if you feel like you don't get the response time that you want, the next person you're going to call is Channel 48, Channel 19. And we're all on the news about something that probably could have been handled in-house. Any other feedback from anybody, even staff, or anything that I've missed? Any feedback from the president, resident council, or? So we answered all the questions. I mean, it's raining, so y'all ain't gonna go out there in the rain. But might as well get your questions answered right now. So, y'all have anything you want to share about Drake?
We have a program called HSPO, High School Diploma Option, and so that's one route. And then maybe we also want folks to get their GED. So we have services that can help you and your children. Not only we provide the GED, we have digital literacy. So if you want to brush up on your computer skills for several reasons, one, just to learn how to use the computer, all the way up to Microsoft Excel, which can enhance your chances of gaining employment. And so we had students came in because they need to learn basics and left on how to do Excel spreadsheets. We give certifications for that will enhance your resume. We also have what's called Ready to Work. Ready to Work provides soft skills training to help you receive and maintain employment as well. And also along with that, you get certifications that will help you get to be able to work these tests, which some jobs will require you to have, because you have to pay for it, you get that free. I know if you want to get a substitute teacher, they require work to be one of these programs to do that. We also have a manufacturing program, MSSP, and that will help you get employment in areas like so we have adult education is important. If you're interested, or when you want us to reach back out to you, we'll let you fill this out, and we'll reach out to you.
Thank you. Now, can you talk about the times and the places that you all are going to be within the housing authority?
Yeah, so right now we have locations, in Northwood from 9 to 12. In the other days, and I can't give you that date right now, but it's coming. We'll have a location in, Sutton Terrace. And, in the Northwoods right now, we're only there Monday and Wednesday mornings, but I'm hoping that will change as soon as next week, because we're getting a new hire, a new teacher, who will be there in the afternoon. So we know something to work. Butler Terrace, I can't give you the date when that one starts, but it's coming. It's on its way. It's just a process. We do have classes at Drake, and we have classes at Calhoun. We're all under the same umbrella.
Awesome.
Any questions? And thank you for having us.
We appreciate you
And
being
so
here.
they're all free. All the services are free. Yes.
So if you wanted to have this one by reason, how would you do about it?
Just let me know. I can leave my number. Oh, it's on the sheet.
Oh, okay.
Because Lucy is one of our wonderful instructors, and she's heavily involved in it. So my phone number is on this.
I just want to plug into, we have English language as a second, English as a second language classes, so you guys might know someone that can benefit from that. As we all know, there's a lot of foreigners in town, and a lot of them can benefit from this. They probably already are, but yes, we do have classes for them. And just to go back to the HSBO, is the high school diploma options for anyone who attended high school in Alabama, even from, like you said earlier, so many years before. And, you know, maybe someone in this room just, or you might know someone that might just require a few credit hours. And for some reason, they didn't get those. They can come and see us, and it could be as easy as someone finishing it in 6 weeks and getting their home. So, of course, there's certain requirements on that, but something that I can talk about. Yes, ma'am.
The English as a second language, is that class will be offered at Northwood and Butler Terrace?
If there's a need,
If there's a,
yeah, we have, play around with that idea there. But there's a need.
And we're going to make sure that if there are residents who want to get involved, like I said, we can help with transportation. But I think to be fair to resident services, we just need to give them a heads up so that they'll know exactly who needs the transportation, and, you know, we can go from there. We just need to give them a heads up about that. All right, any other questions or concerns from anybody?
Can I say something? I just wanted to just say something in conjunction with Drake. Just, I think it was 2 days ago, I spoke with Boswell about a young lady who we were walking through giving flyers into the community. And she had taken the GED in the midst of the pandemic, and she hadn't got her results and what have you. And when I talked to her, this is literally 48 hours ago. And we were on the phone until about 4 o'clock. She said, okay, let me check and such and GED.com. And I gave her the information. Actually, it was yesterday. And she was super excited. She was 17. And the only reason why, there's some things that happened in her family that she couldn't finish. And then she took the test. So it does work. And every situation is different, but we have the resources. And so I just wanted to make sure that I kind of give some credence, some example to that. And then the other last thing is we have mentorship organizations too as well. So if you have a need for that in this community, then just reach out.
And before we get ready to close out, like I said, I want to make sure that we thank the Boys and Girls Club, but I also wanted to give the Boys and Girls Club an opportunity to speak to the residents. And Calvin is a staple. He's a pillar of this community. He grew up in the community. He's been working here now for what? Oh, 30 plus years in the community. And when I tell you this is a safe place for your children to come, they're not gonna let anything happen but them to grow. So I'll let Calvin talk about, you know, what's available here. And just again, we thank you all for just allowing us to have this meeting here today.
First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. McGinnis and the Housing Authority for all the work that they have done for us and the help that they have done for us here at Boys and Girls Club. It's a partnership that was definitely needed and has worked. Like Mr. McGinnis said, I'm a product of public housing. I grew up in Lincoln Project. That's my heart. I ride through at least once a week. Y'all might see me in some old car or something. I'm that creepy guy just creeping around through the neighborhood. But Boys and Girls Club, I don't want to say it's a perfect place, but I tell parents it's a perfect place for your kids. It works. That's all I can tell you. Product of Boys and Girls Club standing here. I'm a product. My boss man, Mr. Wynn, is a product of public housing. We here for you. We here for you. We got plenty of kids from Lincoln that comes up. I try to stop them every time I see them. You know, hey, look, why don't you come to the club? Go get this application. Go fill it out. Come back. You know, we here for you guys. I mean, it is a safe place. It's a place where your kid can go and enjoy themselves. I mean, there's a lot of fun going on as you hear. We kind of like on COVID shut down a little bit, semi anyway. We don't let them try to mingle with each other. They just mingle right now with their age group. Our ages from 5 to 18, teenagers. We got a teen center right down the street. We do a little bit of everything. You know, we got education going on. We got arts and crafts. We got a STEM lab. So if any of y'all want to take a tour, you know, after this meeting, see me or see one of the staff, we'll be more than happy to help you out. But again, this Boys and Girls Club is for you. It's for you. I mean, you don't have to worry about your kids when you're here. You know, we get free lunches. I mean, we help them with, it's a one-stop shop. We help them with homework. We mentors. I mean, we're a sweatshop. We're a gym. You know, we do a little bit of everything. We got dance team. We try to do everything, you know, for to help our parents and our community out. So again, I appreciate all y'all coming up, and anytime y'all want a tour or you got any questions, please just shoot them out. We don't turn no kid away. Yes, ma'am.
I think it's so important that, you know, having a good program like this, because when my children were younger, they really didn't have like programs that, you know, you had to be able to afford for your child to be put in the services. I think what's most important, I think it's a poem basically by a poet that says basically you need to teach, you can give a man a fish, he can eat for a day.
Right.
I'm not sure who wrote it, but it makes perfect sense to teach them, especially coming up. You give them a fish, they'll eat for a day, but if you teach them how to fish, and I think it's good that you all are teaching them right now at a young age how to fish. Exactly. Because I didn't learn till later on. My children are a little bit older now, but I didn't learn how important it is, like teaching them when they're learning to read and basic math, teach them how to prepare taxes. Right. I didn't learn how to do my own taxes until I was an adult, which is, to me, that makes no sense. If a child, if they can read the instruction and basic math, they should be able to do their own taxes. So I just think the importance of just when they're young, just teaching them, because if you're a parent and you don't know how, your understanding is limited, how can you prepare your child? I grew up with parents that were functioning illiterate. So I had to get it at a program like Boys and Girls Club, and had to get strong teachers that were willing to take, you know, the time to make sure that I got. But nowadays,
it's totally different. Every child does not learn by a computer or, it's through that mentorship and that adult that actually cares, that show them you're important.
Right.
You do make, you are important.
That's why we're here. Again, Ms. McGinnis and myself, we have seen so many kids that grew up and now this out there, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they professional ball players. They being productive. And a lot of them, I had one of our board members now, Morgan St. John's, that joined the board. She came through a walkthrough yesterday with Mr. Fountain, Dick Fountain. And she was just talking about, she said, hey, look, she said, Coach Calvin, I never will forget the day you put me in the concession stand. She said, that actually changed my life.
Wow.
She said, because of all the kids around the club, you picked me to go in this concession stand. And I thought like, I didn't play basketball. I wasn't that kid who was real good at sports, but you picked me. I said, yeah, because you were small. You can count. But the point I'm trying to make is this. I mean, that's what we're here for. I mean, I'm here not because of the money. Somebody saved my life. That's a whole nother story. But somebody in this place saved my life when I was that little knucklehead running through Lincoln and wouldn't listen to nobody with a single mom with 13 kids. And it was crazy. So somebody pulled me in and said, hey, look, we need to talk. I had to find a mentor. I had to find somebody that really could grab a hold of me and had the time and, and all the resources to help me. That's the biggest thing. It's all about resources. I mean, these guys, all this stuff on the table, I don't know what it is, but I can tell you one thing. I know it's resources to help you, right? So this is what it's all about. Each one teach one. That's what Boys and Girls Club is all about. That's what Housing Authority is all about. That's what we're here for. So again, if y'all got any questions or anything, or you want to get your kids, your grandkid in, come see us. Okay, come see us. Yeah, it's a fee, but we don't turn nobody away because of money. Nobody. Okay. Thank y'all. I gotta get to another.
Thank you, appreciate it. All right, so as we wrap up, last thing I'm gonna do is this, since we don't have no questions, I want y'all to hold us accountable. Me especially accountable. Hold us accountable for making sure. Now, we're gonna hold you accountable too, though. So, yeah, y'all looking at me, but we're gonna hold y'all accountable too. And if I don't do what I say, I'm gonna give y'all this number. It's my mama number. Y'all call my mama. Your son didn't do what he said he was gonna do. Thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate you. We got some refreshments here. Get all your questions answered. We got staff here. And again, we appreciate you being here. Thank you.